I've been thinking about something like this for a long time, not because I wanted to start another language podcast, but because I realized there was something missing. I spend a lot of time around languages, on social media, while traveling, while talking to people. And I kept noticing the same thing. It can change your life. There is no language podcast on the internet like this yet.
British people saying that everything is fine. Nothing in England is fine.
Purely focusing on languages, methods, why and how. Adding, of course, some cultural spice and some games. But if any conversations about languages exist, they happen online, behind screens. And I think right now, more than ever, we need real human connection. We need to see people sitting across from each other, struggling, laughing, misunderstanding each other, correcting themselves in real life, bringing, of course, some emotional angle to it. That's where my podcast comes in. I was wondering why there is nothing like this yet. But then I realized it took us a lot of time to reach out to guests, to discuss their availability, arrange them to come from Armenia, Japan, Europe, USA, Mozambique, and many more. That's why we opened 2 studios in London and in Warsaw, to suit more people. I know you didn't click because you want to be fluent in 7 languages. You clicked because using one language feels terrifying. Not because you don't know enough, but because you're afraid of mistakes, sounding silly, or maybe being judged. This won't be just long-form conversations. I've designed each episode in a way that keeps the energy moving. Different segments, some may be games, different rhythms, moments to laugh, moments to pause. Not to overwhelm you, but so time passes without you even noticing. I'm direct with my questions. I don't avoid uncomfortable topics. I don't pretend language learning is pretty, clean, because it isn't. Not grammar, not perfection. We want to show what languages actually do to people and what happens when languages get in a way. This is not a podcast where I test anyone's abilities. No one will be asked to prove how fluent they are. This is not about perfection, not about the accents, not about sounding impressive. This podcast is about using languages as an actual tool to live, connect, to move through the world. In this podcast, I sit down with people in person. Teachers, polyglots, creators, travelers, some expats, people who speak 2 languages, from 2 languages to actually 25 languages. Some of them were forced at school or by someone else. Some of them fell in love with a language, fell in love with a book, fell in love with the accent. And don't worry, the conversation will prove that they actually speak these languages. I will take care of that in my own way. One thing you will hear a lot is mistakes, because mistakes are not a failure. They are proof that you're actually speaking. Believe me, no one who is serious about languages will ever shame you for that, will ever shame you for learning from mistakes. If anything, the people who really understand languages know that mistakes are unavoidable. The podcast is here to normalize that. I'm not here to tell you which method is the best. I'm not here to give you the correct way. You'll hear many perspectives, different approaches, different people, different beliefs. You'll get to choose what resonates with you, maybe steal some methods, take what works, leave what doesn't work. This podcast is not about copy-pasting someone else's path. Maybe you're a polyglot and you just want to steal something or try something new. So let's go. It's about finding your own path. I'm doing this for people who are stuck. For people who understand but don't speak. For people who are tired of feeling not good enough in another language, or just speaking to new people, traveling abroad. And also for people who are simply curious about cultures, communications, and the way languages shape who we are. If you've ever been scared to open your mouth in another language, if you've ever felt embarrassed by your accent, or maybe you just love languages and people, you're in the right place. Welcome to Fake Polyglot.